Oh, very good. Okay, well, we welcome all of you, those around the table and those on the internet, to the Cottonwood Creek Distribution System Warmer annual meeting. And we'll welcome any comments as we go along. In fact, we appreciate comments. The first item on our agenda is the hearing of the 2020 minutes. And Dave, do you want to read those or should I read them?
You can read those if you'd like.
I can read them.
Okay.
I'll read them. February 11th, 2020. The annual meeting of the Cottonwood Creek Distribution System was called to order by Chairman Craig Johansson at 1 p.m. First item of business is the reading of the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting by David Horsley. A motion was made by Mark Tuttle and seconded by Jacob Sharp to accept the minutes. The motion passed. The annual report for 2019 was given by Mr. J. Humphrey. Mr. Humphrey indicated that the 2019 water year started with snowpack and runoff well above average. Joes Valley Reservoir started with 31,095 acre feet and did not spill. Water delivery for irrigation began April 1st through the pipelines, but the canals did not begin using water until April 13th. Project water was set at 100% at the reservoir, with a 5% delivery loss to the farm. At the end of 2019, there was 47,542 acre feet of water in Joes Valley Reservoir. Current SNOTEL sites show Sealy Creek at 101%, Red Pine at 109, Buck Flat at 113, and Mammoth Cottonwood at 110. A motion was made by Kyle Singleton to approve the annual report and was seconded by Mark Tuttle. The motion passed. A report from the Division of Water Rights was next on the agenda. Miss Sue Odekirk expressed appreciation to Commissioner Lee Master. That's a misprint. That's Huntington.
Everything else looks good.
How about Commissioner J. Humphrey? For the work you did in 2019 and explained her role is changing, and she will now be responsible for distribution systems in the northern part of Utah, and Dave Horsley will be her replacement. Sue also stated that a new state engineer should be confirmed by the legislature in the coming days. Jacob Sharp made a motion to retain the committee as follows: Craig Johansson, Chairman; Justice Jorgensen; Mark Tuttle from Cottonwood Creek Irrigation Company; Kyle Singleton representing the industrial users; Jacob Sharp representing the municipal users; Hal Johnson on the Upper Joes Valley users; Art Olson, Lower Joes Valley users; Jay Humphrey, Emery Water Conservancy District. Justice Jorgensen seconded the motion. The motion passed. With no further business, the meeting adjourned at 2 o'clock. Those present at the meeting included the following: Craig Johansson, Justice Jorgensen, Mark Tuttle, Jay Humphrey, Jacob Sharp, Kyle Singleton, Art Olson, and Hal Johnson. Sue Odekirk, Mark Stilson, and David Horsley. That's the minutes of last year meeting with the one correction. A motion would be in order to approve that.
Make a motion to approve the minute.
You keep a minute.
Yeah, yes.
Mark Tuttle makes a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
I'll second it. Al Johnson seconded it. All those in favor of approving the minutes indicate by saying yay.
Okay.
Any noes? Motion approved. Next item on the agenda is hearing the 2020 Commissioner's Water Report. Jay Humphrey will present that.
Okay, that's going to be on page 8.
Can you hear Jay? Raise your hand, guys. Can you hear Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one.
Okay, the 2020 year started with 47,542 acre feet in Joes Valley Reservoir. The snowpack and spring runoff for the 2020 year was below average. Project water was set at 100% allocation, and at the reservoir with a 5% loss to the farm. Joes Valley Reservoir was anticipated to spill, so the reservoir water was released early. Because of cooler weather in May and June, the anticipated runoff didn't occur as planned, and the project water was ordered earlier than normal. Joes Valley Reservoir filled, but didn't physically spill. All water record for 2020 reflects that it did spill. Water delivery began April 1st for Pacific Corp. The irrigation pipelines began water delivery on April 9th. The Lower Mammoth Canal was the only canal that irrigation water was delivered in. The rest of the irrigation water was delivered through the Cottonwood Creek pressurized irrigation season. The summer was hot and dry with very little rain during the season. The 2020 irrigation water season ended October 16th, 2020. The 2020 year ended with 38,802 acre feet in the Joes Valley Reservoir. As funds became available from NRCS, more farms on the Cottonwood Creek connected to the pressurized irrigation system. More real-time monitoring equipment continued to be installed on the Cottonwood Creek Irrigation Company meters. The Emery Water Conservancy District became the owners through title transfer of the Emery County project from the Bureau of Reclamation on September 18, 2020. This includes all facilities, water rights, easements, and fee title of the land that been the Bureau of Reclamation name that was associated with the Emery County project.
I might add to that report that the total amount of water diverted off Cottonwood Creek for 2020 was 50,920 acre feet. And that's in the report. Any comments or questions about the distribution of the Cottonwood Creek, the water report? None whatsoever. Cody, what are you looking at for this next year? You know, plenty of storage to your 5 units.
We're adequate for this year.
I noticed you have about 20,000 Electric Lake. Is that about right?
Yeah. 63% full. The February 1 forecast for general 38% of normal in Electric Lake. So that's only 5,000 acre feet of water, April through July. Hopefully more than that out of there probably in that time frame. So there won't be storage this year in Electric Lake, I don't think.
Rose Valley is about the same. The February forecast of what, 25,000?
Yeah, the February forecast, that dropped from 30,000 in January forecast. So, and we haven't received that much snow, compared to we're about 54% on the Cottonwood Creek. Dismal. And when you figure it out, we will put some water in Joes Valley, but not very much. Because Cottonwood has about 18,000 first rights to it. So that, even if it all goes good, we're probably going to put 6,000 or 7,000 acre feet. We just don't know, and the ground's dry, so we might not even get that much.
I'm one of the few that can remember 1977. That was the driest year on record with a 25,000 acre foot runoff into Joes Valley. It appears that we're just about on that same level right now. So we're looking at tightening our belts for 2021.
What percent is that? 25, is it 40, 45%?
We're, you got to calculate, normal's 56.
What's the percentage on those, what's that 25,000? It's about, 45%.
45% of normal?
There's quite a difference between Huntington Canyon and the further south you go. Is the snow levels different? They're usually closer than that. Just interesting.
We got supply San Rafael. You wanna go, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's mostly 38%, like 45.
Oh.
They're usually not that far apart.
Well, Huntington and Cottonwood, or not Huntington, but Sparrow Creek and Huntington Cottonwood Creek are the same, 45. Thing different from this year to last year is all of our reservoir storage is half of what last year was.
Yeah.
Basically.
Including your groundwater storage, your soil moisture. That's the scary part from what I do.
So we're facing
We've got a dismal snowpack sitting on the driest soils ever recorded.
That's true. Oh, yeah, the forecast may be much less than, well, what comes might be less than the forecast.
there is our second year supply still in Joe's Valley. That's up to the board to set that allocation, but we do have enough water there for one more year.
Thank God for future people.
You better, yes.
We're still in the bench.
We wouldn't have an irrigation system.
We think Dr. No Lighter.
How about statewide? You have any comments on the lack of moisture? No comments.
There is none.
There was none comments.
No moisture, no comments.
I thought maybe they'd pass a law, make sure that happened.
We need a motion to,
No, they've been like 1/10 of an inch of water last couple, and then the one that we had this past weekend was 2/10. But they're just mainly maintaining the snowpack, not improving at all.
Okay, a motion would be in order to accept the River Commission report. Cody Allred makes the motion, Mark Tuttle seconds. And moved and seconded that we accept the River Commission report. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a report from the Division of Water Rights.
Let's go to the distribution summary.
Okay, what,
In the report, we have each individual ditches, but what was unique about putting this record together was a lot of the decrees, there wasn't enough water to measure last year on the decrees. And this year it's going to be worse. We're very privileged to have Joe's Valley and our reservoirs that we have to utilize our systems. But if you look down these numbers, if you take the project water for Huntington out of this, and the power water, we were down to about 75, 80%. And if we were losing that in ditches, there wouldn't have been an irrigation season after July.
yeah, a comment further on that. On the middle of July, the inflow into Joe's Valley was about 22 feet. Quarter of that belongs to the power company, so that would be 15 feet for the entire irrigation company. That would have been pretty tough to administer, but we had the reservoirs, we had Adobe Reservoir, and we have the pipelines and the sprinkling systems, and we had a fairly good year.
You wanna go through the power, water, or are we good on this?
Unless there's questions, it's in the report.
If you look at it, Josua's about 9,000 acre feet less this year than last year. And the power company water was just about the same, not too much difference. So out of the 38,000, the power company has 5,400 of that.
Yep.
Now they're using some of it right now, but not very much.
Begging for water from the power company here pretty quick. Oh my, okay. Dave, do you have anything from the Division of Water Rights?
No, I don't. Jared, do you have anything?
I don't have a lot. I just want to point out that there is a role in the comments. If you've just logged in, you won't see it, so I'll post it again. And so in order to sign in, if you're online, you'll just need to click on that little cartoon speech bubble, and that'll open up a dialog box. And like I said, I'll put the link in there so that you can fill out the role. I do notice we have one person who's joined us by phone as well. And so perhaps we ought to know who that is so that we can add them to the role.
Tyson Ecker.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Tyson Ecker at Hunter.
Okay, thank you. We'll get you added to the role as well. The only other thing I wanted to point out in the minutes from last year, we talked about getting a new state engineer, and that new state engineer has been appointed by the governor. That's Teresa Wilhelmsen. So some of you know her and have met her already. She came down here last summer and toured some of the facilities. So that's really all that I've got to report.
Number one, are you familiar with House Bill 297 being proposed? Could you explain why, what the reasoning is that the state feels that they need to do something like that nature?
Which one is 297, Craig?
It's the creation of a Colorado River Commission of some sort.
Yeah, what I've heard on that is the state is just trying to create a little bit of muscle behind our interests in the Colorado River. I think there was a perception out there that the other states were ganging up on us a little bit, and that we didn't have the same sort of resources devoted to our interests that other states did. And so I think that's the idea behind that Colorado River Commission, is to help protect Utah's allocation of Colorado River water.
It appears to us that the muscle is coming from the Wasatch Front, not necessarily coming from the Colorado River drainage.
Yeah, the person chairing it is certainly from the Wasatch Front. You'll have to remind me who else is on that commission. I haven't seen the legislation, and so I'm not sure who else is represented, but I would hope that your side of the issue would be represented on there as well.
Carbon and Emory County has one seat.
Do you know what all the seats are?
Not offhand. There was Uinta and Duchesne's has got a seat, and I think the governor's got a seat, and I believe Central has a seat. We have a seat. I think San Juan and area has a seat too. They have them listed out, but it barely came out of, enrolled in probably last week sometime. So I don't know very much about it.
Yeah, that's really all I knew about it. I mean, I've read the media accounts and, you know, just kind of got a short primer on it from our agency. But it wasn't us who drove it or Water Resources. It was, I think, some of the legislators, you know, I guess it's being co-sponsored by the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate. And so there seems to be some political will to do it.
Are there any other legislative efforts that we ought to be aware of?
Maybe. And honestly, I haven't, I'm not real apprised of what's going on there. I've heard different things that have been in the works, but as far as things where bill files have been opened and things are out there for us to look at, honestly, I haven't even looked this year. I've been so busy trying to stay on schedule with my other stuff that I haven't even looked at it.
Well, we appreciate that.
Mark, did you have anything?
No, I don't. Thanks, Dave.
Last year, state engineer came to this meeting with a report on the Ephraim Tunnel flow. Is that available again this year?
Dave, help me out on there. There's I thought a USGS gauge there. Was there, do we have a gauge up there as well? I'm trying to remember.
No, we don't.
Okay. So the records we've got, I guess, are just the USGS gauge.
Could we get that information from the state engineer's office of the Ephraim Tunnel and the Spring City Tunnel? You collect that, don't you?
No, I think the USGS collects it.
Yeah, it's available, but you gotta go to USGS.
So you don't record those.
No.
Okay. Maybe you ought to.
If the USGS is doing it.
It ought to be part of a record, though.
If you want to direct it, we can put it in the record.
Okay, so it's up to us to find it then and put it in.
That would be correct. Yeah. J Mark does the report. So if the water users would like it in the report, that would be something that would be suggested to J Mark.
Oh my. That came full circle. Okay, anything else? The next 3 items talks about the financial report, delinquent assessments, and the budget. We skipped those 3. We have no financial report. We have no money. Cottonwood Creek finances the River Commission report. We don't set a budget. And we don't set distribution assessments. So we're down to selecting a distribution system chairman and committee members if necessary. So,
Hold on a minute.
get right through the end there.
Yeah, but we gotta, where's the rules?
Rules right there.
since you acquired the pages that
9.
where do you want course to?
And
Since you acquired those water rights, well, since we acquired the land from the Bureau, that needs to just have that name taken off. It's Emery Water now.
which one's that? Oh,
That'd be E.
Bureau Reclamation, on Emery Water Conservancy District. That's still you.
That's us, but they have no ties.
So we still got the same board member.
We got the same board members,
But the U.S. Reclamation is out.
is out.
And Emery Water Conservancy District is still in with one representative. The list of the committee, we read that once, I'll read it again. The committee is as follows. Chairman is Craig Johansson, Justice Jorgensen and Mark Tuttle, the three of us from Cottonwood Creek Consolidated Irrigation Company. Kyle Singleton, industrial users, Jacob Sharp, municipal users, Hal Johnson, Upper Joes Valley, Art Olson, Lower Joes Valley, Jerry Humphrey, Emery Water Conservancy District. I understand Kyle has retired. So who should we put in his place?
Hey Tyson, are you there?
I am here.
Tyson, the question on the table is who do we want to fill Kyle's vacancy? Would you like to do that or would you like me to do that?
You.
Okay. Cody Allred. So a motion would be in order to select committee members and then the chairman. Open to the floor.
Not the rules.
We do them all at once.
We can if you want.
I move that we retain the same committee members. What about Justice Jorgensen? Is that fine?
That's fine.
Replacing Cody Allred with, where Kyle Singleton was for the industrial users. And including treasurer.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded that the committee and its chairman remains as noted, except that Cody Allred will replace Kyle Singleton. All in favor of that motion, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries.
On the Ephraim tunnel, as far as title transfer. Title transfer taking
No,
the Ephraim tunnel?
no, it's a Santee, it'd be Santee Water Conservancy. That is not.
I got a question. The letter I got has me listed as the lower Joe Valley. Or got a letter.
We don't know, I don't know.
No, you made a letter, but your list here is the upper.
Yeah, no, listed.
But the letter you got was to the lower, huh?
Yeah, the letter I got was to the lower.
So Art should have got one.
He's on the line right now.
Art, did you get a letter from the state regarding this meeting? You'll probably need to unmute yourself.
Hello. Hit your space bar on your computer. That'll unmute you.
So I'm confident that Art should have received a letter. The letter goes out to the water users. So he should have received one.
Yeah, he's on the mailing list.
Any other questions?
Dale, would you mind, if you don't mind, on page 11, walk through the calculation on the carryover, so just to clarify for me, before we approve this.
Which one, what page on?
11. Okay, January 2020, we had 47,542. December 31st, 2020, we had 38,802. The power company water left in the reservoir as that was 5196. And then we account for the water. That was what they had at 1st of January. Then we subtracted January, February, and March from the project water account. And then you used 5,142 acre feet of primary water, Class A water. And we gave you 8,576 acre feet for the 20 allocation.
Okay, and I saw there, so 5196, and we used 1367 of that, and that water, whatever was left, went away, right?
It went away, yes.
Okay, okay. Then we started over fresh.
Then we started over fresh. And from October 12th to December 31st, that's when your water ran out, was October 12th, the primary water. And you used 2,425, which left you out of the 8,576, 5,722.
That's where I was getting, my math shows that. Unless there's something I'm not seeing, the difference between that two numbers is 6151.
Well, we'll check it.
Check that before leave the meeting. So
So the 8576 minus the 2425. Is that what you're saying?
that was my question, is there other deductions there, because that simple math there isn't 5722. I'm trying to take even more water. I just want to make sure I understand that right.
That 6151 is what you get
That's what I got with this.
instead of 5722.
So it probably raised you another 400 acre feet.
400 there.
Hey, we won't have any left.
Sorry. I would have pointed it out if it had been the other way too.
Have you got an evaporation number in there?
The evaporation number is 286, which is now 307.
So what's the next one?
Now 307.
308, was it 308, we rounded.
Yeah.
So.
Get that. 286 is still good, right?
No.
Oh, it's 5%.
That's 5.
5%.
So what was the number?
So 308, so the final number is 5845.
5845.
That's what it should be.
Should be 5843.
43.
We don't want to give them too much.
Okay. Anything else?
Craig, I'm on now. I had to turn my cell phone sideways to find a unmute button.
Yes, this is on.
Well, Art, you're just in time to say the closing prayer.
No, I've been on. I've been here. Heard the meeting.
The question was, did you get a letter inviting you to the meeting? And apparently you did.
Yes, an email. Yes.
And the other question was, are you still willing to be on the committee?
Yes.
Okay, the board, the group here voted you on.
I heard that.
Okay,
I'm doing 6153.
well, we still,
What, I don't have Art as listed on the committee.
oh yeah,
Lowered.
I'll read the committee members again.
I thought Hal Johnson was lower Jones Valley.
We put out Hiles Upper Joes Valley.
Oh, well, that would make sense.
No, 51, not 53.
Craig Johansson, Justice Jorgensen, Mark Tuttle, Cody Allred, Jacob Sharp, Hal Johnson, Art Olson, and Jay Humphrey.
In those minutes from last year, you can see it says, or that's listing those presidents and meetings, but above where the list of committee is.
Oh, not consistent, is it?
Look down at the front rows present listed. Just Howell's Lower Jones Valley for some reason.
That's what it was last year, they voted.
Lower. I think in this year's minutes, it'll be corrected. They have made some notes. So next February.
Sounds like Jake's volunteering to take the minutes. You just volunteered to take the minutes?
No, we're just trying to straighten you out.
I had that sign up when it gets outdated.
Sorry about that.
We'd bring your secretary in here, do a good job. Yeah. Okay. I don't have anything else. Suppose, do we need a motion to adjourn? Motion. So moved. Second. Jacob Sharp moved. Mark Tuttle seconded. All in favor, say aye.